It's embarrassing. At this point of the year, I'm on 36. It's really difficult for me. Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I cannot believe that we are nearly at the end of 2025. Where has the year gone, honestly? In some ways, it feels like it's been quite a long year. But then at the same time, I can literally remember sitting in Costa in January, starting my first book of 2025. It's been a bit of an up and down year, just generally, and in terms of my reading. But I thought as we're coming to the end of 2025, it is about time that we start looking towards 2026. So we're going to set some bookish goals. I just want to have a really great year of reading. I want to read more books than I did this year. I want to prioritise books that I know I'm going to love. And if I'm not vibing with a book, just let myself know that that is okay. No one's going to get hurt if I don't finish a book because I'm not enjoying it. And then I can start a book that I will love. For 2025, I didn't really set any goals. My one goal for this year was just to read more books than I read last year. And I did that and then some. My Goodreads reading challenge goal was to read 25 books in 2025. And I think at this point of the year, I'm on 36. I'm hoping to end the year with 40. But yeah, it's been a great year in terms of that. And I'm really happy that I've just read as much as I could. Saying that, we did have 3 months where I didn't read a single book. So May, June and July, the book count was 0. So I just think, and this is kind of coming on to my first goal for 2026, I could have read 50 books. And so my reading goal for next year is to read 50 books. I think that's very doable. My second goal, because I've not done either of these next two things this year, is to read a classic. I've had quite a few on my TBR for a fair length of time. So it's about time that I get to some of those classics. So yeah, I want to read at least one classic and also at least one non-fiction or biography. So that's goals 1, 2 and 3. My next goal is to prioritise my physical TBR. I am yet to count how many unread books I physically own. But I am quite scared of the total. I own a lot of books that I have not yet read. One of the first things I'm going to do when the tree is down in the new year is to go through my shelves and my TBR cart, and I've also got some books in the living room, is basically to go through and count and list all of the books that I have on my physical TBR. I think I'm going to make a spinner wheel of every single book title that I physically own and have not read. And then my aim is to whittle that down. And so whatever we start the year on physically, I want to significantly have reduced that by the end of 2026, which means buying fewer books when I know that I'm not feasibly going to get round to reading them immediately. And then kind of linking to that in reducing my physical TBR is to unhaul either books that I have read and just haven't loved, or unhaul books that I have owned for several years and realistically have no intention of reading them anytime soon. If I change my mind, I can always repurchase that book. But I am a hoarder when it comes to books. I am like a little magpie that sees something shiny and exciting and buys it straight away. And so I've got books that have been sat on my shelves unread for quite a few years, and it's embarrassing. So we're going to change that habit in 2026. As I said in the intro to this, my next goal is to DNF a book if I'm not enjoying it. I just need to be okay with that. I think I worry because I'm like, oh, I've spent the time trying to read this book, and if I DNF it, it's not going to count towards my reading goal. So I just need to be strict with myself in the first 100 pages, where if I'm not vibing with it and I'm not enjoying it, that's okay. I don't have to finish that book. It's really difficult for me. But I'm going to try it. Oh, a fun one for my next goal, and it's definitely one that I will achieve. This is one that I can tick off quite soon. Is to add more bookshelves into my home. The ones that you see behind me are already full. I grew this space this year, so I've gone from having 2 full-size bookshelves to adding an extra thin bookcase over here behind the tree and a shorter half width as well on the other end, and the space is now full. My aim is to add a thin bookshelf into the living room and 2 more full-size bookshelves into the bedroom. So these 2 behind me used to be in my bedroom, but when we decorated this room and I knew I wanted my book space in here, I moved those into here. But now I want to replace the ones in the bedroom as well to have more space for my book collection, which kind of sort of goes against my buy fewer books rule. But my idea is that the ones in the bedroom will be some of my favourite books that I have already read. So I think that's okay. We'll allow it. My next goal is to simply make time to read every single day. Whether that is literally 5 minutes and I read 5 pages, because I have a tendency, especially if I'm tired and I get home and I doom scroll for a little bit and then I fall asleep. Like it's not good for my brain to be scrolling just before I go to sleep. So even if it's just for 10-15 minutes directly before I go to sleep, is just to make that time for reading. And then hopefully as well, that will mean that I unintentionally read more than 5 pages in those times. And so we're getting towards our reading goal. Every little bit. The next goal is another fun one. I want to keep a reading journal this year. I've tried in the past to make an aesthetic, gorgeous reading journal, and I never use it. So I'm going to try again this year, but I've been watching quite a few different YouTube videos just for inspiration on how I can make it easy for myself and not put too much pressure on it. If I simplify it in that I've got my initial spreads, I've got my reading goals laid out, I've got my 26 books for 2026 TBR there, and then I just write in my monthly TBRs and stick little pictures of the books in, so I don't need to write out every single title. I think I'll be good with that. And so yeah, that is my goal, is to consistently keep a reading journal. Now realistically, I'm not the kind of person that's going to go in and journal every single day or do a spread for every single book that I read in the year. That's just not me. I might write a little bit about any favourites, like 5-star reads, I'll do a little bit, but I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, and however that transpires, that's what we'll go with. But yeah, I want something to be able to look back on at the end of the year instead of just quick ratings on Goodreads and things like that. My final bookish goal, it's not really a reading goal, but I've included it here because it is relevant to my book space, and that is just to keep posting on YouTube. I'm going to aim for at least 1 post every single week in 2026. If we can do more, amazing. I'd love to post twice, but I'm going to stick to once. I'm going to aim for Sundays because in terms of my working schedule, I work full-time Monday to Friday, and then I also teach additional hours on a Saturday during term time. So if I aim for Sunday, I know I should have that time set aside to prep, film and edit the content ready to post. In terms of what this year has brought me, I am so thankful and I'm really proud of myself in starting this YouTube channel. Yes, it's only small, but I am incredibly overwhelmed at the support that you have all been giving. I'm honestly shocked that we have surpassed 400 subscribers in such a short space of time. Like, we're nearly at 500 subscribers, and I've had this channel for what, 2 months? If that, coming up to 2 months. So I'm really proud that I had the courage to start it, and I'm just so grateful for all of you for watching my content. I've just loved every second of it. It is inspiring me, it's motivating me to want to read more, and I'm just finding so much joy in talking about books again. And so that's all I can really ask for, and I am so grateful to have the space and opportunity to do so. So yeah, there we go. So quick fire through my 2026 bookish goals. Goal number 1, read 50 books. Goal number 2, read a classic. Number 3, read a work of non-fiction or a biography. Goal number 4 is to prioritise and shrink my physical TBR. Goal number 5, unhaul books that I have no intention of reading or just didn't love. I only want to own books that mean something to me. Goal number 6 is to DNF a book if I'm not enjoying it and be okay with it. Goal number 7, add more bookshelves to my home. Goal number 8 is to make more time for reading every single day. Goal number 9 is to consistently keep a reading journal for the year. And the final goal is to post weekly here on BookTube. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider giving it a big thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Mwah. See you in the next one. Bye.